Hey everybody, getting ready for our big adventure trip to Puerto Rico. We're going to make a couple of really short, handy videos for people who might be preparing for a trip of their own. Some of them will work well for just your overnight trip in your neighborhood, and some of them are going to be for travel trips like this. One real handy thing you're going to want to take on a trip like this is a quick link for connecting and fixing your bicycle chain. The thing that's important is not all quick links are created equal. My two favorite branded links to use are from YBN and from KMC. These two brands make reusable quick links, and that's an important designation. They typically also specifically cite how many reuses you can have out of them before they are dangerous to use or are worn out. And at some point, the mechanism for how that quick link works is going to wear out, and that release can happen prematurely then. I think I see the most is people will save the quick link from their SRAM chains, and the problem with that is that those are not a quick link that's designed to be reused. That's a one-time use quick link for installing a chain. SRAM does sell reusable quick links, but it's not the one that comes with their chains. So a lot of times people say, oh, those quick links break, or I've had problems with them. It's mostly where I've seen that happen is because it's been improperly installed, it's been used beyond its usable life, or in some cases it's been a one-time use installation quick link and not a reusable one. So we can see the KMC quick link here on the chain. This particular chain is a KMC chain, but the nice thing about their quick link and the YBN branded quick links is they're compatible with a multitude of chains, and they are clearly labeled on their packaging, so that's pretty nice. Something I travel with quite a bit and leave them strapped all over my bike in different places. These little strips of Velcro that kind of Velcro to each other like so. They're great for traveling with because you can actually use them for things like this moment here. We need to work with this chain and remove it with a pair of pliers. Then we're going to need to have the chain in a slack position. So the first thing we're going to do is shift down so the chain can be at its loosest positioning, which is to be in the smallest cog on the rear and the smallest cog up front as well. And now we're going to take this derailleur and put it in a position so it's easy to work with. We also want to make sure we position our quick link so that it's on the bottom here. Hold this piece in. Just run my piece of Velcro through the cage of the derailleur. I run it around the chainstay and Velcro into place, and you can see it holds the chain nicely in the slack position there. And I can work with this quick link pretty easily. So you can see there's my quick link. Chain's nice and slack for me to work with. And what you'll notice here is the quick link really is identical on both sides, and they're just opposing. So here we have the slot that's open, and here we have the fixed pin. And we see this pin here, when we flip it over, is fixed as well. Right there. And what happens is these two pieces, this piece here slides this way, and this slides this way, and that lets us separate the chain like so. So we need to grip it in a way that lets us do that with our pair of pliers. A lot of times people will use a specific tool for disconnecting these quick links, and that's a nice thing to use when you're here at the shop because it does work really well with separating the chain. However, I'm going to show you how to use a regular pair of needle nose pliers out of there. So this is something that's more likely going to be with you if you're doing a long tour, that sort of thing. I usually carry a Leatherman with me that has this sort of needle nose pliers. So that's how we're going to show you how to disconnect this quick link when you do have a problem. So we got to push on this piece and push on this piece here. And we snap those two this way like that. And that'll separate our chain. It's going to be a little tricky, but once you get the hang of this, this actually goes pretty easily. I'm going to kind of work on the opposing sides there with my needle nose pliers, just like so. And if I squeeze, you hear the snap. And look at that, right apart. So what we saw happen here basically is this piece slid out. See, there's a little teeth there, that sort of thing. Those are the things that can wear out over time. So now we can see what it looks like when they're apart. And when we put it together, it snaps closed like that. When it's apart, it comes apart like so. So now we've got our chain apart. We can remove any offending link we need to, that sort of thing. And once we're done there, we'll put the chain back together. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we need to reposition the broken open part of the chain. And we can do this. Remember how we velcroed our derailleur in place? We can still work with that. We can pull this all the way around. Just get our open part of the chain so it's on the top of the chainstay. And then we need to reconnect our quick link. And putting the chain at the top lets us do this tool free. Two together. And pull just a little bit. We don't want to pull very hard because actually the next step is going to be how we connect things. So now we can release our Velcro from our derailleur here. I just pull on the derailleur a little bit and gently pull the Velcro out of the way. I'm going to keep my hand on the quick link as I let the derailleur fall open. This ensures that the quick link stays where I want it to stay, and I can guide the chain if it decides it wants to fall off at any point. So now we can see our chain is taut. We can see our quick link there is not connected, but it's pretty close to connected. We're going to give it a quick pull tight. What we're going to do is you're going to see me grab a hold of the crankset here and the rear tire here, and we're going to push those two so that it pulls on the chain, and pulling the chain will then connect the quick link. So it's important to make sure that our quick link is connected and partially seated, and that it's at the top, because that'll allow us to use pedaling force to reconnect the chain. So we can see there clearly the two pieces are together. I'm going to apply this force and we're going to see that snap together. It can sometimes take a considerable amount of force to push down and make this happen. Sometimes it goes a little easier, so you may have to push pretty hard. See there, it snapped nicely into place. It took a little bit of force, which is usually a good sign on the health of the quick link. Important things to remember is make sure it's a reusable quick link. Make sure to have a pair of needle nose pliers, or make sure that you have some sort of trail tool that will let you separate the links, and then we use the bike to reconnect it.